Hi, Navin Joshua here. Very good morning. Thanks for being here. Good to see a room full. I wish I actually had the answer of how to crack the D2C scale code, but having worked with over 100 brands simultaneously at different points in time, now nearly 200, we have some thoughts around, what some have done better, which are the areas which are probably need more focus. We do all understand that given the time and space today, I think scale at any cost is only a vanity metric. Businesses and brands have become much more conscious, like the true retail. Not just time for digital first brands to just say, okay, we'll first go from the 0 to 1 journey. And that definition of 0 to 1 earlier was the 1 CR per MRR through I'm here to actually present the digital exclusive D2C perspective more. Even the first 1 CR mark per month was that 0 to 1 journey. Probably that's become now the 0 to 3 CR mark. But the challenge really comes in after that, which is where a business actually needs a much higher proof of concept. That is where the play of retention, customer experience, the brand narrative comes into the play. Very often we've seen the pressure only being on the one vanity metric called ROAS, or return of ad spends as digital marketers. The pressure has always been to say, for profitability, the ROAS needs to keep going higher because the leakage keeps increasing, especially after the 0 to 1 journey. We've also noticed over time, I think in the last 3 months especially, this year, even the big giants like an Amazon and a Myntra, the overall traffic has actually subsided, which means the overall share of business that's going to brands has dropped off a bit. Obviously, sharper brands that have their own strategy in place will take a bigger lion's share. It doesn't mean that everyone's in degrowth. But at an overall level, I believe it is coming from that sharpness of wanting to figure out what is a better ROI for marketing. Tech plays an extremely important role there, as we talk about. Don't have too many slides, but in terms of where the cookie crumbles, I believe a fragmented tech ecosystem is the #1 problem that we all in the D2C landscape see. Folks here, and I see some in the room here, Delivery, Find, all are great ecosystem partners that actually help to reduce that fragmentation. Cookie cutter solutions to tailor-made solutions are available for brands to just come in and take care of their part of it, whereas the back end is all completely innovated and worked upon, especially the last mile post-order space. When we talk about post-order, you start with the leakages from add to cart, cart to conversion, then comes the entire return space, which is largely governed by the big RTO elephant in the room. I believe one of the largest issues that brands need to figure out is something which is on their end rather than the logistics player end or the payment gateway end or the omni-channel partner end. Just recently we concluded a survey with about 600 D2C brands. We will be releasing that report shortly, where we've noticed that the actual challenge is the delay in dispatch from the brand end itself. We've noticed that on an average, there's a 1 to 3 day delay in the dispatch from the brand end too, which actually means the first notification that actually goes out to a consumer goes out between that 1 to 3 days. And we also have seen and compared that with brands that are able to do it within 24 hours, within 48 hours. Someone like a Myntra and Amazon have done great in being able to, go into more innovative models of fulfillment where that delivery guarantee or dispatch guarantee is well managed. But for D2C brands, I think that would be a key aspect to look at as a controllable at their end, whereas there are so many uncontrollables towards the last mile. So that is probably one of the key pointers that we will talk about, which is dispatch SLA, one point made. I think leakages are at tech, marketing, even data segmentation, and last but not the least, the post-order space. What we've always wanted to do is try and see where these leakages are and where an integrated approach from a content to commerce narrative, we are able to tie up better. Brands that have done that over time have been able to have a much higher retention and a much higher repeat purchase, which is really the holy grails when you look at it from an integrated approach. Yeah, I mean, conversion rate, I would still go out to say that in the own D2C space, even if I don't look at the offline space, even compare online itself, you would see, let's take fashion as an example, where most of the brands are, or even beauty and personal care, a great emerging, category. I think the conversion rates, the entire e-commerce conversion rates for healthy brands lie anywhere between the 0.8 or 1 going up to a 2.5%. But if you look at the marketplaces, Amazon, Myntra, obviously category specific, but do have conversion rates of anywhere between 7 to 10%. So even within the e-commerce space, when the consumer is the same, because the consumer is seamlessly purchasing from D2C versus marketplace, there is an experience gap, which is great headroom for D2C brands to be able to see as an opportunity towards profitability. And it's not only about killing the golden goose of return on ad spend. In fact, brands are getting a lot, very innovative with the entire Facebook and, Facebook, Instagram on one side and Google on the other side. That market getting highly cluttered and the bid rates continuously increasing for them. An insurance lead versus an education course versus a piece of apparel, the cost of acquisition is not very different from a bid rate perspective. Whoever bids for it gets it. But on the other side, I think, for all of us in the e-retail space, we're not here to actually sell, a virtual product or a guided product. We're here to sell an over-the-counter product. It's extremely critical for us to figure out new avenues of marketing, new channels of top-of-the-funnel marketing in digital, which can then further, in the middle of the funnel, get retargeted much better through the traditional channels that are well known. So great opportunities of, publisher networks, great opportunities of MarTech, WhatsApp commerce, engaging with personalization are opportunities that from an integrated perspective are able to tie the journey much better. We believe that, when you look at it, obviously the technology itself, for every, we did a study with PwC, for every 1 second delay in the interactive time at the website, which is different from speed, the interactive time, because there are a lot of third-party scripts on website, it can take a lot longer to load, but it really doesn't have a bearing on the consumer interaction. For every 1 second delay, even from 2 seconds to 3 seconds, there is about a 22% dip in the add to cart itself, which is a huge metric, which is a direct revenue metric. So I believe that is something to be looking at very closely. A lot of times in D2C, businesses get very fancy about the home page and videos and the visual merchandising around that. But I think Amazon has told everyone it's about effectiveness. In any case, 80% of the consumers don't land at the home page of the brand. They do land at product detail pages or list pages or promotional pages of a website. So from a consumer experience perspective, I believe that would have a huge bearing on profitability. MarTech, extremely critical in the retention space. I think, a lot of businesses are paying through their hat in terms of the top of the funnel customer acquisition, but there's lesser investment going in the middle of the funnel because there is where the actual cart to conversion differential from the add to cart kicks in. The visual merchandising in terms of your page, layout, your sort, your filter, what are the top products on the page. An Amazon study said that the top 40 products on any key landing page delivers 82% of all the sale. So really, the third page, the fourth page, or the 100th product doesn't have salience. Get your top sizes, get your top styles, get your top glance views at the top of the pages. I'm really trying to focus on what D2C brands can do by themselves, because way too often we're able to see that, it's a lot of complaint about payments, logistics, last mile, omni-channel. But I believe that is an ecosystem that's continuously evolving anyway with best in class. But from a D2C brand owner perspective, last but not the least, I know we have a 10-minute, there's a red screen of times up here. I would say personalization. Personalization really does create efficiency in the funnel. We do believe that anywhere in the funnel, there are lots of data points to actually look at from a consulting framework perspective where the gaps may be. But those that are able to actually connect with their consumers in personalized cohorts have much higher overall ROIs to their business and much higher repeats. That's my time. Navin Joshua at GreenHonchos. We'll see you in the next couple of days. Anish.